Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's happening? It's the Real Deal Sports Show coming to you live from the Rock Pawnbroker Studio, giving you sports of all sorts. We appreciate you listening to us live through your speakers. Turn us up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know it's time to let you know what's really going on in the world of sports. I'm the fanatic, joined by the living legend himself. Rad man, what's going on, Rad man? Good morning. How you feeling?
Good morning, everybody. Oh man, Saturday morning. Hey, it's fall. It's too dark for the Rad Man. Too dark for the Rad Man. I had to take a break and come out for some college football today. Heading down south where it's supposed to be sunshine. I can't guarantee. Only the man of the Lord upstairs can guarantee us some sunshine. Hopefully, we'll have some sunshine today down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the LSU Florida game. I'm covering that game this week, giving the Bills a week off. Hopefully, the Bills can score some points this week. But we're going to be talking Buffalo Bills football in a minute. Hey, I'm looking forward to the LSU Florida game as well, broadcasting live from the Rock Pawnbroker Studios. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at Real Deal Sports Show. Real Deal Sports Show. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. And thank you all the people. We had a spurt growth of people subscribing to the show within the last 2 weeks. Thank you so much for subscribing to Real Deal Sports Show. Some people in Cincinnati joined us on Real Deal Sports Show. So not only Cincinnati and all across the country, all the cities we've been in, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at Real Deal Sports Show. It costs you nothing, but means everything to us, Fanatic. What's going on, Fanatic?
Hey, you know what it is, man. And hey, we know Baton Rouge stand up. It's we taking the show straight to Louisiana today. So we're gonna talk sports of all sorts with a highlight of the LSU Tigers as really in all sports as they take on the Florida Gators after a disappointing loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. But we'll talk more about that coming up. You know we got to start what it is, Rad Man. I know we got some great sound coming up as well. But the Buffalo Bills. Hey, check out the Rad Man on the Real Deal Sports Show page, man. Has some great content, exclusive behind the scenes, pregame, postgame. And I love your thoughts when you talked about it with you and the mighty Oba postgame and actually pregame. You really predicted about just the Bills and the physicality and the who they are and that what their manhood will be tested as they play a very physical Cincinnati Bengals team. So let's recap that, Rad Man. Let's talk. I know we got some interviews as well with our man DJ Tiger Ty. Glad you could be here with us. Thank y'all for listening to us. Brad, man, what did you see when you really was heard those pass popping last Sunday night with the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals?
What the Rad Man, the Mighty Oba, and J-GILLZ saw witnessed last Sunday night was the same thing we witnessed at the stadium back in February in that snowstorm in Buffalo, New York. A team that's physical, a team like to hit. They were hitting, and the Bills was taking it. The Bills' defensive front line came out and played. They hit. They gave up 24 points. Hey, you playing against a very good offensive team. That's not a lot of points. The Bills, with the offense that the Bills are capable of, the Bills' offense seems to be the problem. No rhythm, no continuity. They've been like sleepwalking in the offense for the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's why they lost to New England. That's why you had close games against Tampa Bay and the New York Giants as well. And then you turn around and see these teams. The Giants get blown out the next week. You see Tampa Bay getting blown out, having trouble in their games. In these games, the Bills just got to score points. Their offense got to get it together. The defense is playing well. I thought the physicality of the defensive front, Ed Oliver, Tim Settle, those guys, even the new guy, Linval Joseph, who just showed up this week, who the Bills signed, he played very well. Number 93, he stuffed the middle. The Bills were stopping the running game. Joe Mixon and those guys had trouble. When Joe Mixon did get through the line, he just completely ran over Terrell Bernard. That's why my biggest complaint. I like Terrell Bernard, nice cat, but man, he got cleat marks of Joe Mixon all over his chest right now. He's still trying to get him in a concussion. He probably won't even play this Monday because he got completely run over. Joe Mixon, I was surprised when we got a chance to interview him after the game, how small he is, how small Look, but on TV in the game, he runs very hard, very physical, fanatic, and like I said, he just ran Terrell Bernard right over, man. And that was probably part of why Terrell Bernard ended up with a concussion. This was a game where we needed Tremaine Edmonds. You missed that physicality from Tremaine Edmonds, and you miss him on the back end covering tight ends with that long reach, being able to knock the ball away and make some plays on the passing play. You know, people say, hey, he didn't make a lot of tackles, but Terrell Edmonds made a big difference in the Bills' defense as well. And he's another key component that's missing from this season, Fanatic.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. And it's interesting to see how those losses in particular games over a season really show up, but in particular, a physical game like it was today or like it was last Sunday. Now, looking at it forward, to me, I don't think that same issue of Tremaine Edmonds not being on the Bills, I don't think that's going to be as big of a loss when you see a team like the Denver Broncos who's trying to be physical, trying to find themselves, but also then really more of a finesse team and letting Russ cook, and you getting some cold porridge when you let Russ cook and the Denver Broncos on Monday night. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's just styles make fights, and man, the Bills, I can tell they don't want any part of the Cincinnati Bengals. I know we're going to bring our man J-GILLZ into the conversation as well, because I want to hear about Ken Dorsey and what it's looking like. So welcome to the show, our man J-GILLZ. You know, the sports director. We all know him. We love him. Sports director for 105.5 The Beat, Zeal Talk Upstate at gmail.com, and definitely Zeal Talk Upstate on IG, man, with a unique intersection of religion and sports. Check it out. Really unique. What up, J-GILLZ? What up, my brother?
Hey, what's good? Fanatic, right, man? We in the building. Good morning to the 105 Beat, the Beat 105 family, every Saturday morning right here. Thanks for listening on the radio. We appreciate y'all. But yeah, Fanatic, I've been talking to a lot of the Mafia. When I say Mafia, I'm talking about Bills Mafia. And the age-old question that's going on right now, is it Ken Dorsey in the play calling, or is it the personnel and the players on the field? And that's really the gist of where Bills fans' minds are at right now. And in my opinion, it is the players on the field. Obviously, Ken Dorsey isn't an elite play caller. Some people call his offense very vanilla. It's very plain, very simple. He's not a Mike McDaniel or Andy Reid. Heck, not even probably from the Kansas City Chiefs, who just got hired over the Commanders. What's my man's name? Bieniemy. You know what I mean? This is a creative mind. But when I look at the Bills players on the field, to me, they just don't have the personnel right now. And to me, that's really the biggest problem.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. So now let's move it forward. What do we see Monday night? Highmark Stadium.
Well, before we go with the Monday night, let's go to hear Tim Settle. A few comments from Tim Settle. Tiger Ty, can you run the Tim Settle interview?
It looked like you took him down. You took him down properly. It just looked like he hit his head on the.
Look, I've been at least 6 years. This is my third penalty. I don't get flags. I know how to play the game. I feel like I was cautious. Referees thought otherwise, but that's something I got to go look in, or it's something I got to understand a little better to understand a better reasoning of why I was called for what I was called for. But at the end of the day, you got to play the next play.
Did you say what it was? He didn't mention it to you?
No, one of my teammates said that it was because his head hit the ground or something. But, at that point, I was swinging my own body. So, I can't control gravity and velocity and stuff like that. But this is something that I'll grow from.
You guys have seen you really come off the ball well tonight. Yeah. Was it something the offensive had some good film work this past week?
That was a preach. We just wanted to, that's what we're doing. We're coming off the ball. We trying to initiate stuff, and, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep coming and just progress from each week from here on out.
Next week, Monday Night Football, now you get another extra day off.
We get back ready to get ready to do what we just did, play comprehensive football and just execute at a high level as a team.
Right. Yes, indeed. And that was a bad call, J-GILLZ. He came in and put his arm over the shoulder pad and slung Joe Burrows to the ground face first. Unfortunately, Joe Burrows' head hit the surface, hit the ground. That was a football play. What do you think of that call, J-GILLZ?
To me, honestly, Radman, we talk about the calls of the game. Every game, this whole season has been horrific when it comes to the referees and the play calling. On that play specifically, I can't say I'm surprised because throughout this whole season, every game, the referees have dropped the ball. So I'm not surprised at all. But that is very great information that you gathered from Tim Settle. 6 years, only his third play call, third flag in 6 years. So that should tell you something right there. The referees and the officiating is horrendous. Something needs to change.
Yeah, that was a bad call, and I thought the Bills' defense, like I said, the game looked like the Bills were just being destroyed overall, but the Bills the defense really played a good game. The offense played a few good series, but not enough to overcome. It shouldn't have came down to Dalton Kincaid having that fumble. The Bills should have been moving the ball earlier in that game. If they have to go to no-huddle offense the entire game, go to no-huddle offense the entire game. But
that's where a lot of the success came. When they ran that no huddle.
You're absolutely right. It did happen at that time. But let's see how the teams attack the Buffalo Bills. We're gonna go to Irv Smith Jr., Cincinnati Bengals tight end, who caught a touchdown pass in that game. Let's hear how the Bengals plan to attack the Buffalo Bills defense.
Tonight, I see they featured you early, got you into the offense early tonight. Was that something they saw in film that they worked the two tight ends, you and the other tight end here, both seemed to really get started early tonight?
Yes, sir. You feel like we had good matchups against our safeties and linebackers, and we could exploit them in a lot of different ways. And our coaches did a great job calling the plays and getting us active out there and being able to make opportunities and create plays.
Did size also weigh in on it too? Because you guys seem a lot bigger than the Bills linebackers.
Yeah, definitely the linebackers we feel like is something that we could attack this week, and I feel like we did a great job of that.
Back when you were drafted, I had you coming to Buffalo. I had you penciled in with the Bills. Did the Bills talk to you during that draft?
Yeah, they did. Yep. Coach Dayball, he was with Buffalo, and he was my offensive coordinator when I was at Bama my sophomore year. So I talked to them throughout that draft process and stuff. But
did you get the feeling they might pick you, or that you might?
It was a lot of teams that were interested and stuff. So I didn't really know. I didn't even know I was gonna get drafted to Minnesota. It just kind of happened. But it was a blessing to be there 4 years, and now I'm happy to be here.
What is it about coming out of Alabama? Great Ozzie Newsome. You have some really good tight ends come out of Alabama. What is it about their training that gets you prepared for the NFL?
Yes, sir. going against the best at practice every day. It definitely, Coach Saban, he's breeding the best talent out there, and going against those guys. Going against first rounders every day at practice makes the games easy. And so just having that confidence to be able to, go out there and go against the top guys, it helps you in the long run for sure.
Excellent, thank you.
And that was Irv Smith Jr., tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals. He should have been a Buffalo Bill, guys. The Bills had him on the clock. The Bills ended up trading up to pick Cody Ford. You didn't have to trade up. You could have picked this guy at you. That's what I mean. Brandon Beane always trading up and getting rid of draft capital when he could just stay in his spot and pick a quality athlete. This guy, I don't know what Brandon Beane does in the first 2 or 3 rounds. He just can't seem to get it right with these guys in the early round. I mean, Irv Smith Jr. was there for the taking. Take this guy from Alabama, had an illustrious career at the University of Alabama, won a national championship there, part of a championship team. Take the guy. He played for Minnesota, played very well for the Vikings, and now you see Joe Burrows know what to do with a quality tight end. And then the Bills turned around after Cody Ford. They drafted Dawson Knox in the 4th round. You ever heard of that guy? What is that guy doing right now? Selling cars for West Hereford or what? That's probably what is he doing?
Yeah,
J-GILLZ, what is he doing? Selling cars for West Hereford? That seems to be the best thing Dawson Knox has been doing this particular football season for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, he was on a historic, Irv Smith, he was on that historic Alabama team that featured the likes of everybody: Tua, Jalen Hurts, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, the whole shebang. So you would think that he would have some experience. And not only did Dawson Knox get drafted by the Buffalo Bills, but then they paid him, right? I mean, they paid him.
Come on.
Right. Screwed up the whole cap space. And now you got a guy like Dalton Kincaid, 10 catches a game. He's the only bright spot on this Bills offense outside of Stephon Diggs, and he's just getting action. Come on, man. And now Bills fans are clamoring for Dawson Knox to get back so they can start running that 12 personnel. I said, that's not going to get it done with Dawson Knox, man. It's not going to get it done. It should have kept O.J. Howard. Should have kept O.J. Howard.
Oh man, y'all love some Alabama tight ends, man. Well, I will say, hey, my man Cody Ford, he's from around Alexandria, Louisiana, in Pineville. So shout out to my man Cody Ford, who is also, I'm sure he enjoyed that win immensely, as of course he's playing on the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm sure he loves giving it to the Bills, man.
Yeah, so I'm on the sideline. Cody Ford, man, that's where you need to be, right on the sideline. But he on the Cincinnati Bengals sideline, so he's on the right sideline to be on this particular season. Went to Arizona, now he's in Cincinnati. I don't know what the Bills saw in him and what they thought this guy could do as a starter, because he's now been to 2 or 3 different teams. But I tell you what, Irv Smith Jr. could have definitely passport to Wonderlust saying that Irv Smith Jr. is barely a starter. No, I gotta disagree with you. Passport to Wonderlust. No, Irv Smith Jr. is a legitimate starter, and he's definitely a legitimate starter on the Buffalo Bills team. Let's say if the Bills had Irv Smith Jr., still had him on the team, signed him to his second contract, and then you brought in Dalton Kincaid. Man, what kind of 1-2 power pack the Bills would have? The Bills have never. I can't ever remember in my lifetime the Bills having 2 high quality tight ends at the same time. I just can't remember that. And they could have had that with this guy. Irv Smith Jr. showed you what time it was. And remember what he said in the interview, which I thought was a key take. They went up. They matched up. They wanted to match up against the Bills' small linebackers. Yep. They wanted to go up against the Bills' linebackers. That's why they used 3 different tight ends. 3 tight ends was catching passes in that game. The third guy that scored the touchdown late in the game, the people in Cincinnati didn't even know who he was. They're like, who's this guy? People were commenting to me, who's this guy catching the touchdown for the Bengals? They had to look to see who that guy was. So he wasn't even a regular starter for them, but they focused on getting matchup against the undersized Bills linebacker. Cincinnati Bengals is just a bad matchup for the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott still can't understand how matchups go, and he still hasn't been able to put his team out there to have good matchups against a very good Cincinnati Bengal offense. And that's what they did. They exploited them all night. And last but not least, let's go to the Joe Mixon interview, Tiger Ty, and hear what Joe Mixon had to say about this game.
You seem to always have a good game against the Bills, Joe. Is there something you see on film that they set to get you ready for to play against Buffalo?
Not for real. I mean, I feel like Buffalo a very good team, but so are we. When it comes down to it, man, I feel like Coach had a hell of a game plan, and all we did was go out there and execute. And when my number was called, try to deliver. I mean, when it comes down to it, I feel like I could do a lot much more. Especially, things that we've seen tonight, just one broken tackle or one finished block, it was just so close, but just got to get better. Best thing about it is we got another Sunday we play and try to do whatever I can to get all that back. But most importantly, we won tonight's game, so just got to keep stacking.
What is it about the game plan? Because several players said that tonight. When do you know during the week that, man, this is a really good game plan?
Yeah,
when do you sense it?
To be honest, you just feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that as a player you could fake. You know what I'm saying? There's teams that have great defensive game plans too. But when it comes down to it, as long as you execute. And it's 2 game plans, everybody doing their thing, man. Everything else come together as long as you execute, and that's the name of the game. And I felt like we did a great job of that tonight, so we just got to keep stacking.
Last 2 games against Buffalo, 2 wins. What type of confidence is that breeding you into this team?
I mean, to be honest, it was just another AFC game that we needed to win, and we did. At the end of the day, we just got to keep building, getting better, and really keep stacking these wins because, at this point we control our own destiny. So we keep winning, keep building, all the momentum, keep shifting towards our way, man. So just got to keep stacking.
Is there something from that Super Bowl, making it to a Super Bowl? It seems like you guys gained an awful lot of confidence from there. It seems like you guys really have some good confidence.
Well, I think it's more it's more so we've been there before. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could talk about it, but when it comes down to it, you know, you got to go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like we do a great job of adjusting, refocusing, and doing whatever we can to, you know, become successful and keep honing in as a team. You know what I'm saying? So I think we did a great job tonight. Crowd did a hell of a job, you know, being electric and things like that. So we just got to keep building, getting better, 1 week at a time and one game plan at a time, and showing up.
There you go. There you go. You notice this is a key component, guys. Did you notice he said good game plan, the game plan, and all of it, Irv Smith Jr., and even some of the guys that Lamar Chase said it, some of the guys that we didn't have on tape were saying what a good game plan Zach Taylor and them put together week in and week out. How many times have you heard the Bills talk about a good game plan? J-GILLZ, have you heard them say that anytime after these 9 games about what a good game plan the coaching staff put together?
Absolutely not. After a win or a loss, absolutely not. They've never clamored those words out of their mouth on anybody, from Josh Allen to Von Miller. But what they did have a players only meeting on the offensive side of the ball. So talk about a game plan. Looks like the players are putting it in their own hands. Talk about a lack of faith in Ken Dorsey. So yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Great call right there.
Yeah, that's why I like going into the opposing team's locker room and say, well, let me get some comments from them. People always ask me all these years, I like going to the opposing team's locker room and hearing what they have to say, and then going over to Buffalo and hearing, because we get to hear Buffalo all the time. So when you hear something different, like I said, wow, these guys complimenting their offensive coordinator, their head coach. Yeah. You haven't really heard the Bills compliment Sean McDermott at all, have you?
No.
Not at all.
Fanatic, what do you think? Am I taking it out of context, Fanatic, or what? What do you think?
No. I definitely think you're right on that, man. It is interesting to hear, especially when you look across the field of play. You hear how other teams work and how they manage different situations, and then you see it, how it all works. It's so interesting. I haven't heard it, especially really all season at all. It seems like the coaching staff overall. I'm really intrigued. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's going on? What's the impact of the Leslie Frazier departure? The Bills always just seem like the up and coming team, and they're trying to find and climb to prosperity, and they just don't get there. But to me, this year, that with the expectations being so high, it just doesn't feel like it. I don't know if it's expectations, but the Bills team just doesn't feel like that kind of Bills team where they're closer, tight knit, they're there for each other. Maybe it's a Stephon Diggs versus Josh Allen coming into it versus McDermott. What do y'all see? But I think the Leslie Frazier, people don't talk about that enough, similar to the Eric Bieniemy leaving Kansas City. So what's y'all thought? Like, what does the Bills team feel right to you? Does it feel like a championship level contender that's going through a rut right now, or is there something really missing with the Bills franchise right now?
Well, go ahead, J-GILLZ. You like to answer that one first?
Man, great questions coming from the Fanatic as always. And to me, when I look at the Buffalo Bills defense, you know, Leslie Frazier played a huge role in leadership. He wasn't just a defensive coordinator; he was the assistant head coach. So, you know, his leadership, his value, his trust that the players had, his camaraderie definitely played a huge role. But I look at the earlier parts of the season, the Bills defense was doing exactly where they left off last year. And I think Coach McDermott does need to get more credit. I believe him definitely to be a leader of men. He has I believe the players do have profound respect for him. But when it comes to the schematics on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball, the lack in creativity, the lack of an elite game plan, the lack of even critical decision-making down the sides, he is lacking in that area. Leslie Frazier, granted, he definitely played a key role in a lot of that stuff that he's lacking. Leslie still couldn't get the job done either. Especially in those last 13 seconds. We put it on McDermott, but, I mean, you're just as good as your coaching staff. So I think that his departure means something, but I just think that Sean McDermott has to do a better job at getting those guys who can really, really put a game plan together. For example, like a Jim Harbaugh. You know, Jim Harbaugh, he's no more creative than the next person. You know, but when it comes to being a leader, putting together an elite team, he does a great job at that. And Coach McDermott, he has to stop being so loyal to a fault. What a Ken Dorsey and guys like that, and really truly go out and get somebody if he wants to keep his job, in my opinion. get a Bieniemy or get Bieniemy. He looking for a head coaching job, but you got to go outside of your reigns of Carolina and Buffalo and really try to find an offensive guru who can really fix and turn this thing around.
Agreed.
Very well stated, J-GILLZ. Got to go outside of those limits. I agree 1,000% with you. Remember when we were in Phoenix, Arizona back in February? It seems like a year ago, but it was back in February during Super Bowl week at this Fritz Pollard Alliance. Salute to Johnny Cochran, salute to excellence. I spoke with some Buffalo Bills, former Buffalo Bills coaches, and they were saying, they told me at the event that Leslie Frazier was actually the job Leslie Frazier was doing was actually the job the head coach should be doing. That Leslie Frazier was the head coach of the Buffalo Bills without the title. That's what they were saying to me. My sources told me out there in Phoenix, Arizona, this past February, Leslie Frazier was the head coach without the title. He was the things that he did, the role that he played was a role that a head coach should be. And I think now you're starting to see the wheels fall off, come off the cart, off the wagon. Now that Sean McDermott has to do all of this himself, and then on top of it, name himself the defensive coordinator. I think he's very got a sit. One thing I don't know the man well, but just looking at him and interviewing him, this man has a serious ego problem. Man, you got a big ego. You take over the defense with 13 seconds. You confuse everybody. Leslie Frazier could have handled the situation. Leslie Frazier stays calm, cool, and collected. You, on the other hand, loses your cool. You're screaming. You're grabbing players. You're telling them what you want to play. You call 2 timeouts in a row on the D. How many times you see a defense in the last 13 seconds of a game when they are winning, when they are ahead, call 2 timeouts in a row? That tells you something. Wait a minute, hold on. Why are they calling time? It should be the team losing behind. The team that's behind should be using their timeouts to try to figure out what to do. So he's just not. He's a defensive coordinator. He's a horrible head coach in the sense he got a good record, but when you comes down to situational football, it is a situational that happened in Cincinnati. Joe Biscaglia pointed it out, and we were there watching it. Joe Biscaglia even showed where the Bills on that 3rd down, 4th down and 3 yards to go, the game would have been over. The game probably would have been over anyway. Cincinnati probably would have kicked the field goal and made the field goal. But on 3rd down, 3 yards to go, Joe Mixon gets the handoff. Von Miller does the right move. He comes in, but because of his physical liabilities right now, he's not the Von Miller of old. He misses the tackle. He didn't even touch Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon sidestepped him, went around, ran game, set, and match. Game is over. Picked up the 4 yards for the 1st down, and then all the Bengals had to do was kneel down and run the clock out. Why would you he purposely took A.J. Espinosa and Greg Russo out the game to put Von Miller and Leonard Floyd in the game only for that 4th down play. Why are you still relying on somebody's resume rather than using your own damn eyeballs and saying, A.J. Espinosa having a hell of a game, man? Put A.J. out to keep A.J. and Russo was doing a good job. Keep them out there. One of them, I guarantee you, the way they were playing, the Bills would have stopped them. Von Miller shouldn't even be on the field. He needs to be ashamed of himself talking to coaches in there. And why would you allow the coaches to talk you into playing? Man, he's an embarrassment right now to himself and to the old Buffalo Bills, man. The man look like he can't even move. When they hike the ball, it look like he's walking, man. It don't look like he's moving with any type of speed or, hey, man, correct. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Correct me. I'm just talking about what I'm seeing, not what I heard, but what I'm looking at on TV, what I know. He looks slower than molasses, man. He shouldn't even be on the field. He should have now, after the Tampa Bay game, is when the Bills should have started activating him for the 21-day clearance to get him on the field. He shouldn't have been playing these last 3 or 4 games. It's an embarrassment. And then on 4th down, the most critical play of the game, you're going to take A.J. Espinosa out the game and put a one-legged Von Miller in the game?
Come on,
what's
no.
going on?
Come on,
man.
What's it all about? Come on.
Sean McDermott, man, you got to take a look in the mirror. First it was Brian Daboll. You fell out with Brian Daboll. Then it was Leslie Frazier. You fell out with Leslie Frazier. Hey, man, it's time to look in the mirror. Man, you need to fall out with yourself, man. That's what you the problem, man. Not Leslie Frazier, not Brian Daboll. The team played very bad. But, hey, we had Milano hurt. You got to make adjustments to the injured players. But when you go put a Von Miller in the game, in a crucial part of the game, and take out guys that are healthy are pretty much healthy and playing good football to put a one-legged guy in on 4th and 3, and he whiffs on he had a one-on-one situation with Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon just whipped like me or you trying to like I was out there trying to tackle Joe Mixon, man. Mm-hmm. The man just went right on by him and picked up an easy first down. That's all on Sean McDermott, guys.
Come on. Yeah. You're exactly right with that, Rad, man. But hey, we want to go ahead and continue to keep it moving, but still keep it in the NFL, man. No doubt about it. The Bills, should be interesting to see what it looks like coming up on Monday Night Football in Buffalo, New York. That should be a really great experience and a really great feel for that. So we'll see what happens with the Bills as they host the Denver Broncos. But we're going to keep it moving. Hey, talk about the midseason awards. We're going to really looking at the MVP. We're looking at who is the biggest surprise and then the biggest disappointment so far in the league. I'll go, my MVP, I am going with the one and only the cheetah. J-GILLZ going to be smiling here. I'm going Tyreek Hill as my MVP. He is the most impactful and dynamic player right now. I was really thinking A.J. Brown, and really they have the better record. I think he would probably get more votes. I don't think that Tyreek Hill would win the MVP, but, man, that dude is on a historic pace. Obviously, they're playing more games, but where he is, man, in terms of total yardage and receptions, man, that team, you can see where he is just so explosive. Everybody is fast and big and strong in the NFL, and Tyreek Hill is on another level. Watch the game, folks. Don't just look at the numbers of your fantasy score. Watch the games. Tyreek Hill is just a marvel. He's my MVP. J-GILLZ, who would you say is your MVP?
Man, you know what? Just to that point, I would have to say this. As you said, Fanatic, watch the game. And if you're watching the game, you're seeing Tua throwing those bombs to a Tyreek Hill, getting him open, leading him open. You know what I mean? It's not just a run after the catchability of the cheetah. You know, cheetah's making those moves and Tua's getting the ball there, throwing deep balls. You know what I mean? Accuracy on the play. So you have to give some love to Tua Tagovailoa if we're going to give some love to the cheetah. But my MVP right now is I would have to say Lamar Jackson. The way, although the Ravens defense is lights out, phenomenal, very great this season, Lamar Jackson has been playing a phenomenal game. And I think that he has to get his just due. When you talk about his record against the NFC teams, in his career, he's only lost to the NFC team once in his career. And right now, out of the top 5 teams in the NFC, Eagles, Cowboys, 49ers, and probably Detroit and Seattle, he literally just dog walks Seattle and Detroit, and he's doing it with virtually nothing. You know, he's got an old OBJ. You know, he's got Zay Flowers, makeshift running backs, another ending seasons from J.K. Dobbins. They still fighting people. Obviously, he's got a great tight end in Mark Andrews, but the way that he's just galvanizing his team, putting it together and putting the whole thing on his back and leading his team on 7-2 record, man, I think Lamar Jackson might end up being the MVP. If Tua can start winning the big games, you know, it could easily go to Tua. But for right now, mid-season, I got to give it to Lamar.
Yeah, those are very good choices, guys. I like Jalen Hurts. He's playing well. They continue to win. They're 8-1. Have one of the best records in the National Football League, and that's hard to do, hard to win week in and week out. Those guys seem to find a way to win. He seems to score just enough points to put his team, and his defense comes through for him. He does it week in and week out. And also the other MVP is the Ravens defense. I think the Ravens defense that Ravens defense is unbelievable. When they got that young man from Chicago, got him out of Chicago and came to Ravens, I thought he would help him. I didn't think he would be the next coming of Ray Lewis. I mean, he's a quieter guy than Ray Lewis. He just makes play. That guy, he's a tackling machine. Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith. Yeah,
he's a tackling machine.
He is, but hey, don't sleep on us. You see that LSU brand name is right there? That number 6, that Patrick Queen. He's a bad man. That dude is nice with it, man. He's a tackling machine, and he's going to make sure you feel it, and he's going to talk a little trash. He's trying to take your soul on every hit. Man, that Ravens defense is for real, man. It's going to be a real one.
Don't forget about Jadeveon, too. A great end of the season pickup in Jadeveon.
Yeah, hey, Thursday night was horrible this week. The NFL oldest, they should never put the Panthers and Bears on for the next 10 years. I don't care who they have, but they set it up right. Bengals at the Ravens, Thursday night football. That's going to be a big one coming up this Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And
Hey,
I think with those games should be like a Sunday night or a Monday night, a game of that magnitude.
of course.
Especially with the injuries, you playing on Sunday, then it's equal. Both teams play Sunday tomorrow, and then they got to turn around and play Thursday. I think that's kind of a disservice to both of those teams because it takes you 7 days for really to recover from those injuries from Sunday. Especially Lamar Chase with that back, the way he landed against the Bills on the lower part of his back. He's questionable for today's game, for tomorrow's game. But those Thursday games are, I just think I'm a guy, when you have teams of that magnitude playing, it should be Sunday night or Monday night for everybody to see them as well. Not on Amazon Prime.
Agreed.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, Amazon, y'all know y'all need more sponsors, man. Come sponsor the Real Deal Sports Show. We'll come check that out.
And speaking of sponsors, we got Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. Auto Home Health, and it's going to snow. The road's getting slippery. Get yourself. Make sure you secure with insurance. Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, the award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto Home Health and Life Insurance. 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, area code 585-360-0094. And also, she had a death in the family, the loss of her brother. One of her brother lost this week. So with heavy heart, Miriam, with our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family as well. But she got a full staff in there in that office as well. You need some auto health or life insurance, especially auto with the weather getting bad. Give the friend of the show, the sponsor of the show. She's been with us ever since we started. Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. She's a winner. She wins all these awards. Got the plaques up in the office. I'd rather deal with somebody that got some plaques than somebody that don't have none.
See, somebody got a resume. I like that. And speaking of people with resumes, biggest surprise of the NFL season, we jump back into it, man. I really believe it. I'm going to go quick on these two. Biggest surprise to me has been the one and only, my man, Coleridge Bernard. Y'all know my man Coleridge? I think y'all do. His name is actually, he goes by C.J. Stroud IV. But Coleridge Bernard is, to me, the biggest surprise. Is interesting. He's going back to Ohio, quarterback out of Ohio State, rookie, doing his thing. Just saw Bryce Young struggle on Thursday night. All eyes on him, Tupac style, when he goes and sees the man, Joey Burrow, man. So, hey, he is my surprise player. And my biggest disappointment, not just a player, it's the entire organization. And really, I guess it goes at the feet of my man, Bill Belichick, now in my world known as Dollar Bill. He ain't worth a dollar right now and what he doing to New England Patriots. And the NFL need to go ahead and you talk about, hey, Sunday morning in Germany, hey, man, we're going to be watching some TV kids show in my house, man. I don't know if I'm going to be watching the New England Patriots, maybe just a little bit. But, yeah, Bill Belichick is my biggest disappointment. What about y'all? Biggest surprise, biggest disappointment. Go ahead, J-GILLZ.
Man, biggest surprise to me, I would have to say, is this Ravens defense. Absolutely. I wasn't expecting this. They always talk about a draft, talk about succession. When Ozzie Newsome retired, he left a great succession plan, Eric DeCosta taking over. And it seems like they just know exactly the game plan every year, drafting guys like a Patrick Queen, like a Jason Owe, the rush linebacker. It's just they have a great game plan, and to see it all coming together like this. See, I wasn't expecting this. To see a healthy Ravens squad where you got to tackle like a Ronnie Stanley, great pickup in Morgan Moses, the right tackle for the Baltimore Ravens, journeyman, played for the Commanders, played for the Jets. I was hoping Miami could get him. Just to see what they've been doing. I think that this is truly the year for the Baltimore Ravens to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm saying it now. I think that this is the year, and I wasn't expecting that coming into the season. Biggest disappointment, well, I got to keep it right at the home team. And the Buffalo Bills, to this point, I don't think anybody saw this coming 5-4. It's not even currently sitting in ninth place currently, not even in the playoff picture right now as it stands with the 7 teams. So I think that's going to be a huge, huge point moving forward. And I don't think anybody expected this type of fall for the Buffalo Bills. Now, it's mid-season, so it's not all the way there yet. They still have a great chance of saving their season. But I just think that I think it's going to get worse for Bills Mafia, unfortunately, and that's a huge disappointment in my eyes.
I agree with you. Bills is my big disappointing team, and really with you, C.J. Stroud. I picked him as the best quarterback in the draft. I didn't expect him to be this good so soon, so early. It just shows you how he played at Ohio State with top quality NFL type wide receivers, NFL type offense. He was able to play very well. And now look at him. He's able to, man, he looks like he's 2-3 years ahead. He's doing things that Josh Allen should be doing now, looking off a receiver and looking and going to the other receiver across the field. He's not locking in on one receiver like you do as a rookie, like Bryce Young is doing it, and most rookie quarterbacks do. It's just a human nature. You lock in on the guy. You say, is the safety? Where's the safety? You looking at him, man, let me get the ball because the game is so fast. C.J. Stroud for sure is making a move, is doing very well. And guys, we're going to go right to we have a guest come in. We're going to bring a guest in, brought to you by Mary Rivera Insurance Agency and also Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper. TheChallengerNews.com. Pick the paper up at most businesses in the community of Western New York. We have Coach Eddie Moody. Coach Eddie Moody, Section 5 rep, Vertus High School football assistant head coach. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, Coach Moody. Oh, you got to hit your...
yes, I can't hear you guys on my set here. I'm trying to get you guys.
Okay, now we can hear you, Coach Moody.
So I can hear you guys a little bit better.
Yeah, no, he can't hear us. Just so we hear.
Okay,
Coach.
go ahead and ask me a question. I got you in the background.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead, Radman.
Yeah, Coach, Section 5. How long have you been associated with Section 5 football and also being a rep in Section 5?
Well, I've been a rep as of this year in September. I started out with being the head of the New York State High School Football Coaches Association. I'm on the executive board for that. So I've been involved with that for many years as a member, but then just became one of the representatives that localize standard football and regulations for the High School Football Coaches Association. And we have various colleges and professional institutions that work with us also. And we have an annual meetings and conferences at the Turning Stone Resort every February of each year.
Do you have any major changes to Section 5 coming up?
I still can't hear your question.
Did you have any major changes in Section 5 that's coming up?
Give me a second so we can kind of get this a little bit better
we'll get
sound.
it out.
Give me a second.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah. What a great program that they have in Vertus, for this being their first year. I know the team is very excited, and I think it does great value and adds great value to Section 5, having Vertus High School right back in the mix. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'll make it quick. It is fun, man, when to see the different Rochester schools. And I just want to make the point of Rochester has talent. Everybody acts like we just some dumpster fire city that everybody lives and we just don't have anything good going on in the city. Stop it. Stop the madness, people. We have talent all around, from athletes to artists to musicians. Come on, man. It's some great folks. Rochester is a great American city, especially as somebody who's moved around to a lot of different cities and travel a lot. Rochester is a great city, man. A lot of talent. And so, having schools like a Vertus, having not just the same powerhouse schools winning each and every year, to see that talent spread out and seeing people stay into their home schools, man. And really everybody kind of getting in on the recruiting game as well, to just say, hey, you go to this school. Well, hey, let me see if you want to come to my school over here. It is what it is. I know we'll skip on the Jim Harbaugh for today, man, but it's all everybody know that everybody is trying to do a little bit extra to get an advantage. And hey, it's on the high school level. As long as nobody's getting hurt and as long as everybody truly gets a valuable education, that's a big deal. I will just make sure I say J-GILLZ always laugh. It's funny when it comes to me. But hey, man, some of these big boys who don't go D1, who don't go pro, hey, we got to lose a little weight, fellas. Hey, but as long as if you're going to play it on, if you're going to play it during the season like that, hey, I know it's good to get some track in too to get you ready to go. Coach Moody, you back with us? Can you hear us? Check 1 2, check 1 2, my man.
Yeah, I got you in the background there, gentlemen.
Okay, cool. So really, hey, look, let's go ahead and I just want to talk talent in Rochester. What do you see from your program to the overall macro level to the city, including the suburbs, Canandaigua, all that, just the overall area of Rochester? I'll say, what do you see about the talent, especially in the game of football?
Well, Section 5 has been noted for having a history of great football players. we brought some great players across this region, and they got an opportunity to play at Cortland during the summer. And we did a 7-on-7 competition that was down there in July of this year. And UPrep was one of the teams that took the all lineman challenge, and East High just won last night. They took the 7-on-7 big large class teams.
Yeah, 25-8. What does that mean to the city? They hadn't been there in 6 years. The East High School, Diaz had another great game. I'm seeing here Diaz really got off last night. Why are you getting more and more talent in the city of Rochester? How's that happening?
Well, I think the kids that we haven't been recognized and noticed in our communities. You don't get D1 scouts coming to the Rochester market or either Section 5. They like to go to Pennsylvania, New Jersey areas, and Ohio to get their recruits. We're about an hour and 10 minutes from Syracuse, and I have to say, I don't think a Syracuse coach comes to visit this area of Section 5 that much.
Wow. That's terrible. Why is that?
I think because the level of football in the state of New York is not being exposed correctly. When you get all these exposures, you see all these high schools that get opportunities to play on ESPNs on Fridays and Saturday evenings, and they're getting exposure. They're getting online exposure from different media resources. Like even the state of North Carolina, they have their own type of level of exposures there for their student athletes to play different games.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to get you back on the show at another time, Coach Moody. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on Real Deal Sports Show. But we're going to get you back on at a better time. We can get better sound quality for the show. We appreciate your time, and you continue to make today your day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on board. Just know we got some championship games later today on today's date.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And
we
we're
got
going to have you back to talk about
today at 1.
Okay, who else you got?
And also Pal Mac versus Marcus Whitman.
Oh, nice.
Wow. And one last question.
Versus Attica.
Why is Monroe so dominant in their division, Monroe High School, in the B section?
Just being involved with playing against them and coaching against them, they probably got the very best defense in Section 5 right now.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Nice. Once again, thank you very much for your time. You have a great day.
Playing. Okay, thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you, man. Hey, that's some great info, and hey, good luck to all the participants going up this weekend. Virtus High School again. Shout out to y'all, man. Love what y'all doing, man. And shout out to the Rochester area, my home city. Now down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hey, man, it's a great city. America, stop sleeping on Syracuse. Radman talking about Von Miller should be ashamed of himself. Syracuse University, y'all ain't balling like that. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all wonder why y'all not. Go into the Rochester area, get some of these kids a lot of talent, just need to be molded, just need to be mentored. Syracuse, get on your game, hustle up, go see some of these talented players, talk to these talented coaches like Coach Moody, get some players out the rock, the 585. You get some of them, your program will see immediate success and especially year-over-year returns with the investment in the Rochester area. Appreciate you, Coach Moody. Thanks for letting us know. You can always come through anytime to the Real Deal Sports Show.
Yes, indeed. And also, I think a friend of the show, regular on the show, Andre Fontenette, he's one of the last Syracuse Rochester athletes coming out of Churchville Child High School to be successful at Syracuse University. He's one of the top, and he should be in the Rochester Hall of Fame, by the way, the Rochester Section 5 High School Hall of Fame. We're going to get that when we get Mr. Moody and get the sound quality better. We got a lot more questions for him. We're going to have him back on real soon. But the Andre Fontenette should be in the Section 5 High School Hall of Fame. And you're right, they should become. You go to Jersey, get a guy DeVito that couldn't throw the ball. How in the world is he even on an NFL team? I mean, this guy was throwing the ball at his wide receiver's ankles at Syracuse University, and now I'm shocked. I was shocked to see that he was even on the NFL. I said, he's on the NFL roster, and now he's starting. Like, man, the quarterbacks in the National Football League has gone downhill, Fanatic. It's horrible. You got a 17-point spread.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Everyone talking about the talent of the NFL, man, and with the quarterback play, man, it's some bad quarterbacks who should be bagging groceries at J&E Grocery, man, if you ask me. But, hey, we're going to shout out to our man, image printer, Monwell Floyd. Check him out. Fans, pamphlets, whatever you need, any printing, T-shirts, image printer, check us out. Friend of the show, Image Printer Marketing and Publishing Corporation, 585-360-0132. Hey, real quick before we go to the bets to win some.
Just a quick shout out to Manuel too. He's a new treasurer of RABJ as well. Gotta give him a shout out.
All right. Beautiful. Congratulations, Manuel Floyd. And congratulations to all the new Rochester Associated Black journalist members. And a nice article in this week's edition of Challenger Community News. So read all about it, about the new board members of RABJ.
No doubt. Hey, we gonna keep it really, because like I was saying, it's time to win some money. Let's go ahead and get some of that bread to stack your way. Hey, we got some great picks here. Put them how you want them. Parlay, single game, 5-teamer. Hey, some of the things that I like this week. We gotta make sure that is not LSU and Army. LSU versus the Florida home game. We'll be at the game. Radman and I will be there. We love the over 67. Patriots and coaches. Technically, it's a home game for the Patriots. It is in Germany, though, so 8:30 here in Louisiana, 9:30 there on the East Coast. I love that under 44. I like Titans at Bucks. Great weather over 40. Best bet of the week, Lions at the Chargers. Take the Detroit Lions. And my man Amara St. Brown Jameer gives David Montgomery and the crew biting kneecap, ankles, pinky toes, and all. They getting it in out there. If you want to try and really win some money, I think a slick pick right now. My man LSU Tiger. We all LSU through and through, but I believe it. Joey Burrow, check him out. Plus 800, sleeper MVP. Nobody's running away with it. No really great teams. Cincinnati's coming on strong. Radman, J-GILLZ, what's some of the picks y'all like?
I like that Burrow MVP pick. I like it at plus 800. I like it.
Come on. Hey, J-GILLZ like it. I'm doing something right, America. I'm doing something right.
If he keeps it up and get a good defense of the Houston Texans, I think Houston's one of those teams that they're winning some games. You think they're going to win, then a game here where you think they're going to be super competitive. I would not be so surprised to see Cincinnati lay it on them, Burrows and company, put it on them tomorrow afternoon. I like Cincinnati with the cover of the 6.5 to 7 in that game. I also like Detroit. Detroit is with the 3. Take Detroit. I got to go to backspin Cowboys again, 17. I cannot see a team quarterback by DeVito. DeVito,
yeah.
Man.
Not Danny.
Man, come on, DeVito. Man, Danny DeVito. Come on, man. Not Danny, right? Some other DeVito cat. Really?
Not Danny DeVito. Some other cat. Tommy DeVito, man. I feel like I just saw him at my car wash, cleaning my car, man.
Right. Exactly. Or he threw the ball down. I don't think he's going to be playing football much longer after the next couple games. He might open a nice pizzeria there in the New York City area and make a lot of money there in New York City, showing that he did play for the New York Football Giants. But DeVito throwing the ball at people's ankles. Cowboys should cover that 17 points. Should win by 20. They should win by the 20 points or 21 points in that game. Steelers playing Green Bay, giving Green Bay 3. Remember, Steelers always seem to have trouble when they favorite. So keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Keep an eye on that Steelers game. And last but not least, I like Jacksonville's defense getting 3 points against the 49ers. I think the Jacksonville Jags will give the 49ers everything they wish for and hope for. Hey, we're going to see if the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. So I like the Jags in the 3 points. What's this fanatic about Joe Smith?
Yeah, Joe Smith, NBA player, man, played on a bunch of NBA teams, a great journeyman. Man, right now he got it hitting it both ways, getting hit in his pockets. He is struggling financially, especially being an NBA player who played for 12 different franchises over double-digit years. And then to come to find out a viral. People, put your camera down unless you just want to be clown, man. My boys are in town. Rad, man, got us on the field through the President's office at LSU. Great time. Joe Smith, he can't go see his crew. His wife started an OnlyFans account. Hey, we're glad we do this at the end in case we do get canceled. He found out about his woman, Keisha, his wife, with an OnlyFans account. My, oh my. Good thing I'm going to church, man. Because, hey, we all been married. Can't imagine one day you find out your wife on the OnlyFans live and in person. Crazy, man. Good God Almighty.
Tiger Ty, unbelievable Tiger Ty. I'm sure Tiger Ty talk more about it on his show. Catch Tiger Ty each week. But don't remember to subscribe to YouTube, Real Deal Sports Show. Subscribe, hit the notification button. Joe Smith, I remember him with the Atlanta Hawks and all that. He was really good with them. But man, Joe, come on, you should have saved your money, man. You got to do better financially than this. This is the perfect reason why you should have the Big O as your accountant, somebody helping you to count your money and put your money safely so you don't have to go through trials and tribulations that you're going through. We wish you the best, Joe Smith, down the road. But please subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at Real Deal Sports Show. It costs you nothing but means everything to us. And we look forward to catching y'all next week. Real Deal Sports Show.
Y'all know what it is.
Take care, everybody. Be a good sport. Y'all. Take care, everybody.
Tiger Ty, keep doing your thing, baby. Do it up. We'll see y'all soon.